lectures on introduction to programming and software engineering. Actually, you will have the basic programming course for the first year, right? And for computer ICT student, data science student, and cybersecurity student, you will have the software engineering course. It means that for programming, basic programming, for software engineering, you have separate courses for you. Today, I would like to introduce all of you about software engineering and programming. But actually, this is just only introduction to programming. And many of you, I believe, you have experience in programming. So, now, the first question, which programming language do you know? Python first, C and C++, Java, Pascal, Ruby, Scratch, and HTML, and Ruby already mentioned. Which one? Yes. Okay. And C#. Yes. And okay. Go. Which one? Spell it. Zero. Yes. Yes. Okay. How many programming languages are there, do you think? How many? How many programming languages are there? Yes. Of course, many. But how many do you think? How many programming languages do you think? 10? 9 programming languages. Totally. Yes. How many? Do you think? 10 or 15? Yes, my more than 10 and less than 20. Yeah, more than 10 and less than 20. How many do you think? 14. 14. Yes. How many do you think? Any number. How many have the language?
I think it's around 10.
About 10. Yes. About 10. Yes. Yeah. How many do you think?
18.
18.
Teacher.
18. Yes.
Teacher.
Another number? Yes.
Yeah.
How many?
I think it's 16.
16. Yes. Okay. Now, how many? Thousands of programming languages.
Holy shit, like
700? Yeah. Okay. We know a very few number from 10 to 20. Some people say that 100, and some people say that 1,000. Yes. Now that's the first question. We learn from each other about how many programming languages are there. Now my next question: why people use so many types of programming languages? Yes. We know that there are a dozen of programming languages. There are 100 of programming languages. There are 1,000 of programming languages. Now, my next question: why people use so many programming languages? Yes, learning by sharing. Nothing new for me. Yeah, nothing new for you.
different programming language for different purpose.
He said that different programming languages are designed and developed for different purposes. Yes. Another reason, different programming languages are designed or developed for different purposes. What are the reasons? Yes, the main causes, because the main reason why people design and use different programming languages, because each one has been designed and developed for different purposes. Now, more questions. What are the main purposes of the C or C++ programming language in compare with other programming languages like Python or Java? Share with us. Just share with us. How do you think about the differences, the main differences between C, C++, and other programming language? Because you have not learned about this later. You just guess, or hear, or share your experiences.
And we will be,
Yes.
I think with C and C++ are older
Older, yes.
and the other are much newer.
Newer, yeah, of course. The newer version always have many advantages in compare with other programming languages. It becomes old and few people use, for example. Yes. Other reason? Yes. The main reason is that different programming languages are designed for different purposes.
So I think the main differences between Python and C and C++ is that C and C++ is closer to computer language and Python is closer to human language. So if you are a newbie to this field, then many people would choose to study Python because it's easier to understand. But for long term, for like software and application and also many different fields, then people will choose to study C and C++.
Thank you very much. It said that Python is somehow easier to learn and easier to do work with Python. But if you want to go for long-term and deeper development software, especially for computer science and software developers, for example, you should learn here. Or in some cases, you must use C and C++ programming language. Right? Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, you learn almost everything from each other. I just guide you to discover what I wanted to share. Now let me introduce. I just re-emphasize what you have stayed up. Yeah, I just use this user case to illustrate what you have said all about. That's one web page, tutorialspoint.com. This very one of the many web pages that guide you or introduce you about the programming language, about the software development techniques in different fields. For example, from tutorialpoints.com, the title is simply easy learning at your fingertips. It means that from here you learn many things. Including, for example, they introduce, they sell courses, online courses. And for development, IT networking, you could see that 1,000 of courses for development. For cyber security, there are 500 plus courses. For data science, we have data science program here. There are more than 650 courses are there. IT networking, office, productivity, lifecycle business. Yes, many. About Python, HTML, about the free tutorials. Tutorials means very common. That is in many places in our world. About the latest technology, Bitcoin, blockchain tutorials, Python, blockchain, many others. Very deep into the computer science, we have AI, we have machine learning, we have TensorFlow tutorial, machine learning with Python, and so on. Many here. PyTorch. For computer fundamentals, compiler design, just only for computer scientists. Operating system, data structure and algorithms, database management systems, tutorials, and for web development, a lot, and so on. You could see it about learning about Microsoft technology with data analytics. Many things here. It means that now let's go with the coding ground. In the coding ground here, they introduce the reader. A lot of many programming language. And the short, of course, the hottest, the most popular programming language for you, Python. Okay, you mentioned already. R programming. Who has experience with R programming? R language. Yes, of course, rather specific for statistics or data analytics. MATLAB. Who has experience with MATLAB? Matplotlib, actually library. NumPy, that's library. SciPy, for example. And here, the top programming language. You mentioned already C and C++, C#, Java, PHP, Perl, Python, Ruby, Scala, Visual Basic. Yeah, many things. And here, a lot of programming language. Online compiler and interpreter. This means that there are some offline compiler and interpreters. Argon 68, rather old. And assembly, few people ever heard about the assembly. A lot. You could see here, COBOL. A lot. So, why people? Now let's learn. In order to, I would like to use 3 programming languages to demonstrate for you about what is the programming. Now, you know about C, you know about Python. Here are the 2 programs written in 2 programming languages, C and Python. And what is the output, or what is the purpose of the 2 programs? Who knows both? You know that? Yeah.
This will print out the word "Hello World" with the exclamation point.
The 2 programs do almost the same thing. Of course, here is the hello world. Hello with commas and this without commas. Yes. They do the identical task to print out the screen the string hello world. But the way you instruct the computer to do the same task are different. Why? The first name hello.c here start with the include tag or syntax. It starts with the int abbreviation for integer and with a special function named main. And it starts the processor main with two open and close mark. It uses the command printf with open and close mark here. And the hello world here is put into the double quote. For the Python programming, it's simple. As we said, the Python programming language is much easier for people to learn. It's simple, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4 lines code. And here it's just simple, 1 line of code. Just do the same thing. Now, let me demonstrate. I use the online programming framework to demonstrate here. I go to the coding ground and print hello world. And after editing the code, after editing the code, I execute it. So this programming on the left, and could you see the screen clearly? Yeah, I believe so. If not, I would increase the resolution of my screen up to 50%. Just print out hello world. Now I would like to change, not say hello world, but hello USDH. I just simple yes. And I ask the program, I ask the computer, I ask the machine to say hello with USDH. Execute it. Okay. Now, with a C programming, R programming, and actually this C programming. Yes? Just the same thing. Now, execute it. Hello world. Yes? Do the same thing with me. But, the program seems to be more complicated. Now, suppose that for online Python, I forgot about double quote. I use the single quote. Is that possible? Is that okay? Is that okay to run? Yeah. Okay, I try to execute it. Okay, the same thing, even if I use a single or double quote, right? Now, with the C programming language, I use a single quote here. Now I push execute. What will be happen? Is that possible to a C program to execute do what I wanted here? Yes? Wow. It says that something In function main, character constant too long for each time here. And this is a headache of a C programmer. And I just illustrate about her comment about, it seems to be that a C program main language, it seems to be harder to learn, harder to practice, and harder to use. Now, coming back to our slide. And here also, the hello.c and this program in Pascal. The program in Pascal also start with a program keywords, hello world, semicolon, begin and end. It does not use print or print as, but use another keyword, print, hello world. In a language, any language, as you said that, a dozen of programming languages, 100 of programming languages, 1,000 of programming languages. There are two properties. Every programming language has two properties. The first one, it is syntax. The second one is semantic. Any language. Even Vietnam and Vietnamese and any other language. Who know Japanese? Raise your hand. Yeah. How to say having lunch in Japanese? Itadakimasu, right? Or, for example, a beautiful flowers. That's in English. In Vietnamese, what is this? Một bông hoa đẹp. Beautiful flower. But what is written in, or what is in Japanese? What is in Japanese? Kirena hana. And having lunch, or in Vietnamese, ăn cơm. For example, in English is having lunch. And what is in Japanese? Gohan, taberu. Gohan means lunch or rice. Taberu means have or eat. So, why in Japanese? The format of the sentence is subject, in Vietnam, this, or in English, I have lunch. In Vietnamese, yes. And in Japanese is watashi wa gohan o taberu. Taberu means eat or have. Gohan means rice. This is a syntax. Syntax means the rules. Syntax means if you want to speak Japanese with Japanese, you have to follow the rules of the grammar subject, object, and verb. If you want to speak with in English, subject, verb, and object. That's the rules. That's the syntax. And why the program written in C programming language does not accept this syntax because it's wrong syntactically. So the first thing for any languages, including every country's languages, and including every programming language, as you said, 100,000 programming. If you want to practice the programming language, the first thing first, you have to understand, you have to follow the rules, and it's called syntax. Because if you want to ask the program to do a simple task, print out or say hello in the screen, for example, you have to follow, the first thing you have to follow is, now I would like to ask you, what you have to learn when you learn a foreign language? What you have to learn when, for a programming language, for a new foreign language, what you have to remember or what you have to know about it? The first thing is
vocabulary,
vocabulary. The second thing is
grammar.
Thank you. Vocabulary first, then the grammar, and also for any programming language, the same thing. First, you have to know that if I wanted to print out the screen, a string, for example, if you want to write a string to a file, if you wanted to send a message from this computer to another computer, you wanted to open the files, you wanted to connect to a computer, you have to know the keywords that permit you to do that. It means that you need a dictionary and you know the meaning of every, the related word to that task. And how to remember vocabulary? How to remember? How do you know the vocabulary?
To know the vocabulary, you have to study
Yes, study more specifically.
and use that word frequently.
The first thing you have to learn from a book. The second thing is to use it, to practice. No way, but no one could help you to remember a keyword. No one could help you across the teacher or some tutor will help you, but mainly you have to remember and practice by yourself. You know that. And actually, I do programming in C programming language almost 30 years because I learned C programming language in 1989 when I was the third year student in university, and I started to learn also like you, start with Pascal and after that the C programming language. But actually I don't know every word. You could speak English very frequently, but you could not remember every word contained in a dictionary because, and actually For Python, I just studied several years, 3 years before. Because at that time, I usually, at the time, for a long time, I used C programming language. And when I wanted to use the Python in my research, I had to learn to study again. Study the vocabulary first. And the second thing, as he said, you have to know the rules of writing or using a language. It is subject, verb, object, or it is a subject, object, verb. It depends on the language. And how to remember a correct way to use a language? How do you use the grammar correctly? There are two things you have to remember. First, vocabulary. Second, is grammar. So vocabulary you have to learn from the dictionary and you practice. And how about the grammar? It's the same thing, right? You have to learn, understand that, and practice, right? Almost, yeah. Who help you to remember vocabulary and grammar? Who help you? Who could help you to remember?
I use the person who helped me to remember vocabulary and grammar in English. Just only English is it's my teacher from the English center, and especially it's my mother. But one more thing I use to correct my grammar is the Grammarly.
Yes, Grammarly. Yes. That help you to correct the grammar. You have many tools to help you to correct your sentence. Including about the grammar, about vocabularies. But anyway, it mostly you have to remember by yourself. Now, for many programming languages, here, with the F, hello world, and I use another, the order mainly copy and paste the main task. Now, in the C programming language, I have two line of code, mainly two line of code here. The first, the same thing, bring down the screen or output devices. The string say hello world written in a correct way. The second command also do the same thing, but written in an incorrect way. In this case, the syntax. For a Python programming, I the same thing. Two commands, two lines of code. The first one written in the correct way. The second written in an incorrect way. Incorrect way means that, I'm not sure if this one. Now, guess what happened if I print and if I push the button execute? It means that compile the program and run the compile program. Now you guess what will be on the screen? Now try with the easier first. Execute. internet connection? Why? Why? Oh,
Yeah, I'm upgrading the laptop here, so it's very normal.
just a moment. Wow. Reload the sign. Run, execute. Hello world. Just wanted to demonstrate something. I missed the close characters. Wow. Is that possible?
No.
No? Yes? Who say that is yes, it runs as I wanted? Who say that if we print out 2 lines of identical string, raise your hand. Okay, try first. Execute. Wow. It'll work, it'll work. I don't know. I think that this Python, right? Wow. Who has experienced this one? Okay. Actually, yeah. The Python. Hello world. And if I miss something,
Syntax error.
syntax error,
Yeah.
I miss something,
Syntax error.
still syntax error.
Yeah.
It's somehow different. It's somehow different from other framework, right? I tried it. Who has experience with Google Colab? Raise your hand. Yeah, you could run. I copy the same command. I ask it to do it again. Two hello words. Now, what happens if I instruct the computer in an incorrect way? Of course, if I like here, you have open character, but you don't have the closed character.
Syntax error. Yes.
Wow,
Syntax.
it couldn't do it, right? Now another way. And Yeah, I just wanted to illustrate, but yeah, it's just out of my imagination. I think it's wrong. Because in the past, the differences between the interpreter and the compiler. I would just wanted to show you the difference between the two concepts. Just a moment, I wanted to use to find another.
Name error.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, this one. Now, I have almost the same program. The first program is written in Python, and it has 2 lines of code. The first line of code, read like this one, has no correct syntactically. It's written syntactically correct. And the second one, I also print, in this case, a variable x. For the C program, also print a string named hello world, and also print a variable or something, x. Now, when I push the button execute, it produces this result. When I push the button execute, I don't know why it has some error like this one. I refresh, maybe the compiler has. Now, see my screen? Two programs written in two languages. The first one written in C, the main C, the same two command lines, two lines of code, and the second line written in the wrong syntax or semantic. In this case, in the C program, it said that each undeclared identifier is reported only once for each one it appears. It means that we instruct the program to print out the value of x, but the program does not know what is x. The output of C of Python also said that print s, name s is not defined. It does not know what is the x. Both two programming languages inform me about some error. The first name is name. For Python is the name error. The same. For C program is almost the same. The code of the error is 12, something like that, and this is the interpretation of the error. Now, who discover the difference between the two programs? Here. This is the output of two programs, a C program and a Python program. Who knows the two programming languages and discover the differences? Listen carefully.
So the Python one will run the hello world, then when we work into the line print s, it won't work, so it name error, and the C++ will run into the code and transfer in computer language. So if one thing don't work, the R file won't work.
You see the differences? I paste the two lines of code here. This is the Python. And this is Python output. This is C. And this is a C output. The difference. He said that the code are the same. Both of them, there are two lines of code. The first one is correct. The second one is incorrect. In this case, the program does not what is X. The first one written in a correct way. The second one incorrect way, semantically. The program does not know what is S. But he said, the differences, two programs, report some error. Two programs report some error in the program. But for Python program, it still print out or execute the first line, print out the screen or the output, the string name hello world. But in a C program, it does not, the first, it does not, execute the first line of code. That's the main differences. Now, who could share with us why two programming languages behave differently? They have the same error, the same source code. Of course, it's written in different languages, but it output differently. It executes differently. It behaves differently. Who has, who knows a little bit? Yes. Share your thinking.
Okay, it's a question about why they are the same language programming, but they behave different. So I think, that they,
Try to express in English. If not,
because
other people, I believe that other people knows already about it.
because they have a different creator, and different creator have a different way to have a success. So they try to protect their copyrights. So they have a different behavior.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Who has another idea?
I think the two programming language are different because they have different method of compiling.
So what are the
I think in the C, it compiles the whole program. Yes. And in the Python, it's compile every line, single line, one by one.
Thank you very much. I think that he has he knows the basic of programming and programming language, and he's had just, For C programming, it's called the C compiler. And for Python, it's called the interpreter. What is the main differences between a compiler and interpreter? It's concerning about the language. Here. For a Python programming language, it checks whether or not a program is syntactically correct or not. If it's not syntactically correct, it executes. Here, it executes the first command. Okay? It executes the second command. It wants us to print out the value of S, but up to here, the interpreter does not know what is S. So, it reports the error. That is the way of Python programming language. It's called the interpret programming language. It checks for the syntax first. If the syntax is correct, it runs the program line by line or command by command. It executes, okay, it executes here. It could not execute as instructed, it stopped. Now for C programming, it's called C or C++ compiler. It checks all the programming syntactically, correct or not, okay, everything fine. It checks again semantically. Yeah, actually, not like Python programming language. It executes immediately the command here. But for C programming language, it tries to translate or compile from this very user-friendly language here into machine code. And the machine code, as you remember, just 0 and 1. But during it's called the linking, or it called the compiling. Yeah, the compiler tries to execute, to translate this command into the machine code. It's fine. It tries to compile or translate the human-friendly language here into the machine code. Yeah, okay. Printf, it knows what is printf. Printer what? Printer x. So what is x? It does not know. So it stops. It means that the output, actually, the output of the C programming, the C compiler is an executable file. Here, it's written, it's usually, you remember, from C or C++ files, the compiler, and after that the linker, built an executable file here. And during the build process, it found some error. It stopped, and there will be no executable files. When all the process syntactically okay, semantically okay, so it will build for us. It will build for us the executable files. And even if your program runs one day, 1 week, it dies. Sometimes, for programming, for programming. For example, in my study, my experiments take several days to run the program. So first day it does not die, it did not die. The second day it did not die, but the third day it died. And it's really a headache for programmer to find where is the error. And a lot of error could be happen in your very huge program. But syntactically, every programming language has almost identical set of keywords. Here, you could see that. For Java, you also write two files, write or print out to the screen. Very basic. And in order to learn a programming language, you have to learn and to learn means. Remember, know the meaning is the keywords and what is its meaning. And that's all. For C programming, for Pascal, almost the same thing. Here, you will see that almost all programming languages are the same. But you could see a lot of programming language are there. A lot of programming language are there. Different programming languages are designed for different purposes, and for example, me myself, not only to learn the syntax and the semantic of the programming language, but in the future, if you go work in some department at USDS, some department use now Python and C, and Pascal is rarely, but for Fortran, for example, still some in physics and chemistry, the programming language is written in BASIC, for example. And for the Microsoft itself, you also practice with some simple program task with the in the Excel, for example, and you have to learn by yourself. That's all. And different programming language has different property, and here is you guess what is the output of a C program here? Let me sometime I try to read it. Okay, so take 5 minutes to break. And let me remember what is the output of this program. Okay.
Rồi mấy người đánh đàn phải ép lên.
vài nữa.
Let's continue. I wanted to introduce or provide you a broad view of programming. The first thing I wanted to did you know that there are a lot of programming language out there, and the main reason why people now are using different programming language is different programming language is designed for different purposes. And during the break time, we have very interesting question. First, comparing with Python and C programming language, which one is more popular? I would like to say that nowadays, many people learn Python because it's easy to use. And it has many libraries to develop different applications in data analysis, in machine learning, and in AI. But for applications that require fast computation, require limited computation resources like CPU or memory, for example, especially for embedded devices and for operating system. Yeah, people mainly use C because C is a low-level programming language. It's hardly, yes, very strictly to implement the code because it optimizes the resource. For high-level programming language like Python and, for example, Java, for example, yes, is high level and is easier to learn, but the program is usually slower in executions, and it requires more memory. I would like to demonstrate the difference between the two programming languages, like here. For example, in this case, I assign variables. In programming language, you would learn a lot of concepts, and the first concept is C. For example, I assign the variable C with the value A, the variable I with the value 0. Now I print out the two values, the value of two parameters, C and I. I
Anh
execute.
con ăn cơm ạ. Vâng ạ, con biết rồi, con đang học nhá, con tắt đây.
Who tell me why the program here could not run? I have to refresh.
Yes.
Yeah, before refresh, I copy the code first. Refresh the page across. This the online online framework. I have to wait now. Okay. See it. Yeah, it displays two values A and 0. For example, if I do some computations, for example, I equal I plus 1. Now what is the output? Yes? What is the output? Yes? I1. Right? Simple. And if I execute C equal C plus 190. What is the output? Error? Is there any error? Try it. Okay, error. Yes. And just error, right? Now, coming back to the C program. I copy. Different from Python programming language, I have to declare the type of variables. There are several types of variables, including characters, integer, float number, long number, and so on. And the C program require me after, in order to separate each line of code, it requires integer, it requires separate. Now, is that possible to execute? What is the output? You guess? Character C. Okay. Here. Of course, I have to declare first the output C and D. Yes, D. I use in here. I remove this one. Remove the I don't know if here, right? Okay. And this is called the command. The command, because in the program you wanted to note something. So in C it requires slash, and in Python is another characters. And in order to print out the values, so I have to tell printf. You could see that if I write print, it's in white. And if I put the F here, it becomes colorized. Because some code editor supporters, whether or not we use a keyword, it means that the word is a dictionary of that programming language. Because if printed here, it does not know what is wrong. It's syntactically, syntactic. Yeah, printf. Now, if I push the button execute, could it run? Oh, okay. I don't know, but I put. Who could explain us why my program here could not run? Because my machine will assign a machine on that web page. Now here I use Python, so it provides me the Python. Here it could not provide me the compiler, so I have to refresh. Request the server provide me another server. Yeah, now a new framework. A new wow. Printf. Here. I missed one semicolon. A and 1. Yes, the same thing with A and 1. Like before. And I use the C equal for Python. It could not execute. And for C, is that possible to execute this program? Who say yes? Who say no? Is that possible? Try it. Okay, yeah, it is. One. Okay, I print out two values of C twice. Print out C twice. Execute. Minus one. Or I use another variables. J equals C. I do the same thing. C J equal J plus 190. And I print out just simple, copy and paste. Not C but J, not C but J. Now, I assign the value of J equal to C and C plus 190, J plus 190, and print out C and J. Execute. Oh, I missed some. Wait, what is that? What's missing here? Okay, semicolon. Yeah, very hard. Yeah, very sensitive. The first, I put the line right here. Now, let's interpret the program. This is a C program. Difficult to understand, right? Who could explain me why the code on the left window produce the result on the right? Of course, in practice and also in the test, you have the same question like this one. What is the output of the program? But it's much easier than this one. Yeah, this is much harder. But now, in a C program, when you declare a variable C in the type of count, means characters, the program of the operating system, the machine, provide this program a memory 1 byte. 1 byte. 1 byte. 1 byte. A memory inside the memory. For example, 4 gigabytes of RAM, you declare a variable I, a C, the first, and assign the value of character A. And the character A has the ASCII code written in that byte as the value of 65. A equals 65. One view, you remember the data in information. 65 here in decimal. And actually it's 00111, something like that. If we view the data here like a character, it is a character. If we view the data here as a number, it's 65. Remember again the pyramid, data, information, and knowledge. When we declare for the second law, int I equals 0, in another place of memory, this is a C type character. If allocate depends on machine. Some operating system provide usually 4 bytes. It is E. This is the house of I. It has 4 bytes usually, and it put the house of I, the value 0, everything 0 here. That's because the program is a list or a set of instructions. We ask the machine to do something for us. Yeah. Equivalently or the same thing, the variable J here, step by step. And when declare 3 variables C, I, and J, my machine or our machine we provide in the RAM memory, usually in RAM memory. This is what happening inside our RAM memory. Now, the next step, I equal I plus 1. Where is I? The C compiler looking for values I. Okay, I know that. It's my dictionary. There's one variable named I. And the location is here in the memory. It takes the value of I into the CPU, do the calculation I plus I, 1. Got the result and put back to the house of I. Now it's become 1. Yeah, just illustrations. So next step, C equals C plus 190. Okay, I take the values of variables to the house of C. Take the value inside is 65. I move it to the CPU, do some calculation, 195. So what is the result? What is the result? 255. I got the result and I put back to the house of C. And here I put 255 here. Now, the next command, J, I do the same thing because here J is 0, J is C, okay? J is C, C here is 65. First is 65. I get the value of 65 here, bring it to the CPU, do some calculation and put back, it becomes 255. Now, the next line, print out the values of C, value of C, value of C, value of I, but view in different way. The first way, that's the rule, the syntax of the C programming language, is the character, the number. Print down the values, take the values of C first, 255. In two views, this character is a number. D is a number. Integer. Print down the value of I in a view of a number. I is, what is I? I is 1. 1 in view of number. The similar thing with the J. The J also 255 character and number. Now, 255 in character, that's the characters. The character code 255 is what? This character. 255 in terms, interpret like a number is -1. -1, what is 255? Now try, it's time for you to convert 255 into binary. That's what is 255 in binary? All 1, right? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And if we view this number as an integer, it becomes -1. That's the rule. And because it's only using only 1 byte, here we have 4 bytes. You remember 7 plus 3 becomes 0. Right? Because it only has only 1 byte, one byte to store, for example, a large number. So just the remaining. Here, if I plus 191, it becomes here 256, and so for 1 byte here 256, it becomes 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 all 0, and this one jump into another byte because we have a window of 1 byte to store the number, so this out of range. So we interpret a very simple C programming step by step. Now we move to the Python. I use the same code in Python. Python does not require declaration of variables. It does not require just print just the format or views of the data. And the C character into integer. So what is maybe here? I convert back the variable C. Oh, I have to. Execute. What is how to convert character into integer? How to convert? Who knows Python? I forgot. Maybe. Maybe. What is how to convert a character or string into a number in Python? Actually, I don't remember. Now, convert Python. Search for Python. Convert string to integer. Yeah, something for something. Okay, for simplify program. Simplify the program. Now I think the simpler program in Python. So the first command, I use the parameter C and assign a value is the string characters, the string values. Okay. Okay, that's for Python. The first thing, when you assign the variable C to a values of character A in Python, it will provide me an address and it's a characters. The house of C has value of character A here. So next, I print down the content of variable C is A. Next, I use a C. Also, I assign the first thing, the same location, the same variable C, and when I assign the variable C or the house of C, the result of 65 plus 165 plus 191 and take to the value of C here. In this case, when the program needs more spaces for variable C, the Python program automatically provides C with more memory. For example, in this case, maybe 2 bytes or 4 bytes. I don't know exactly. But if the variable C requires more memory to remember or to store the values, the Python program extends the volume of variable C automatically to store the value of 256. If we added more, for example, I assign the C with a new value. It becomes, C could be a character, C could be an integer, or C could be a float number. This for Python. It means that before you use a parameters in Python, you don't have to determine in advance the character type of values. It's easier. For example, for a C program, here you see that you don't have to declare the type of variable C. You don't know if C is an integer, a float number, and you could use it as you like. Now, what happened with the C program? I declare an integer C and assign a value of 0. C I assign is a float number. And I print out the value of C as a float number in any. Now, and execute. Wow. C I assign the value 0. And now, okay, and C plus 0.1. You could see why this happened. F is for floating number, and here with Python. C equals 0, C equals C plus 0.1. Print down the C. Now, the C program, C equals 0, C equals C plus 0.1 print C. 0. 0.1. So the syntax is the same, but different programming language may behave differently. Who could explain this?
Can you repeat the question?
Now, almost, in two programming languages, C and Python, syntactically, it's almost the same. For example, declare a variable C, assign the value 0 with the same. I do one operator, the sum operator, take the values of C plus 0.1 and print it out the value of C. The Python produce 0.1. The C program produce 0.0. Why? Yes? Someone knows already, and he is willing to share with us.
So in Python, the programmer auto-convert it into floating number, but in C, you use the integer, so it will produce 0, not 1.
He said that the compiler or C programming language is more sensitive to the variables type, right? And it does not for, it strictly considers C just for the integer number. But for Python, for the first command, the first line of command, it may interpret this one is integer number. But when you order the program to conduct the sum between a value with a float number, C become a float number, right? And that's why the C now automatically change the type of C into a float number. So that's why it is capable of storing a float number. That's simple. It means that for Python program, the code is more flexible. But the problem here is that for a C program, the program knows exactly how many bytes is required for storing the variable C. For Python, it does not require how many bytes. It can change the amount of memory, could change dynamically accordingly to the requirement of the program. So that's the rule. And in order to learn a programming language, we need to know the syntax, the semantic, and the way of the programming language understand our code and the behavior of different programming languages are different. Is that difficult to understand? Here, this exactly, this is exactly the sample I wanted to illustrate. In Python program here, very simple. Plus, almost, syntactically identical, but semantically could be different. And you also try with other samples by yourself. And in any programming language, Pascal, C, Python, there will be several basic so-called the how to say how to say this structure or what? Do you remember? The if and the semantic is not difficult for all of you. If then okay, once again I demonstrate using a real programming language. Okay, I do something is 0, I plus 11, if in Python. I don't know, I percentage 2 equal 0, if this I is an else read I is grammar is copy and paste is an order. To check whether or not a number A is even or odd. Oh, I forgot. Yes. Now I sign yes, something like that. If then else. And the if then else is this circle is in every programming language. Pascal, C, Python, Java, every programming language has this structure. For the for and the while, so for how the for loop works. For I wanted to sum equal or total equal 0. I wanted to sum for I in range, I don't know, in range from 100. Total equal total plus I. And finally, I put down the value of total. So what is the output? Yeah, something like that. Sum all the number from 1 to 99. That's the for. And what is the for a C program? Yes, I have to declare the total equal 0. For I equal 0. Equal 0. I less than 100. I plus plus, whatever. same thing. Yeah. Two programs do the same thing. Sum all numbers from 0 to 99. And the syntax for doing this in C is this one. And the syntax for doing this task or Python is this one. The for structure or Y structure, Y is, maybe different, but the purpose is almost the same. Yes, do the same thing. For I in range is the from 0 to 1, from 0 to 100. And here the for loop in C, written like this one, and it does the same thing. And also in Pascal, in Java, in other programming language, MATLAB, the structure is the same, and the syntax is different. Why the syntax is different? Because it's the language. Different language use different rules, different set of vocabularies. So you learn the vocabularies, you could learn. Sometimes you learn English, and after that you learn French, for example, and you have a map, the corresponding map between the one language to another language. You know the syntax here, and the syntax here. And in many cases, you learn by examples. So that's all about the programming language. Some people say that, okay, we have a dozen of programming language. Sometimes people say that there are a thousand of programming language. 1,000 is maybe true. Most of the answer are true. Most of the answer may be wrong. Why it's wrong? Because not only programming language, but in practice, not only programming language, we have to use a lot of library. It means that a set of functions, a set of algorithms has already implemented for us. Some library are for database, some library for mathematical calculations, some library for GIS, for using the map or drawing something on the map, libraries for many things. And me myself, we have to learn every day because, for example, in this case, I have a data sheet like this one, a list of student name and specialty and three numbers, three scores for the attendance, for the midterm and the final examiners. And I wanted automatically to calculate the final mark of the student. And you have practice in doing this by using Microsoft Excel, for example, or Google Doc, for example. You could write some small code for doing this, but you could also doing this by writing some small programs in Python. And actually, I have to learn to code these examples. Yes. For example, I have to use the Google Code Lab for authentications. It means that this library permits me to connect the program with my Google account, for example. After that, I have to use the Google Speed library. So I got the permission to access to my Google Drive. The first thing first. And yeah, when I run this code, it do the task of mounting the Google driver into and in this folder we could see it connect to the driver, and in the driver, my driver here, I have the introduction to informatics, Google Sheet here. You can open this one, I guess so. Okay, you got the permission and you use, wow, what is this one? Some, no, why? Some error here. Access to Google, allow it. Okay. No, I don't use this way. This is the old way. Yeah. This program ran smoothly last year, but this year, it does not run. And I'm not sure if I could open it. No. GC is not defined. I don't know. So I have to learn again. Oh. Wow. Why? Access. Permit. Process. My folder. Yeah. Last year my program ran smoothly, but this year my program could not run. So I have to fix it, and it takes time.
So we will do what? What we will do right now?
year my program was, but now we could not run. I don't know why. So sorry for that. Yeah, actually, yeah, in the practice, I don't know if in the practice, yeah, there's some program you will practice some, yeah. In other words, in order to do some simple tasks, you have to learn not only the programming language, but also a lot of library concerning to that task. And the library and the program may change over time. Sometimes you update you use a newer version of a programming language, or you use the newer version of library. Your program may not run anymore, so you have to learn to fix the bug, and fixing the bug is the headache nightmare of every programmer. Yeah, and in order to learn, to follow some calculation, you have to learn some basic structure. If, then, for, why, that's 3 basic structures. That's all. And you practice with the program, do some calculation, something like that one. And all programming languages, different just for syntactically, the if, then, and the for, and the why. The structure, the logic structure like this one, for and why. And this is for your homework. Using any programming language. But in the last test, you will practice with Python. And this for your homework, solving the equation, the quadratic equation, you are very familiar with this equation. And also for some modern task, you calculate. You are given 2 rectangular, and the task is calculating this score. IOU intersection over the union, and this score is very popularly in many computer vision tasks. And if some of you register for the computer vision course, maybe you will meet me again. And we will learn more about computer vision, machine learning, and pattern recognitions. And one of the very important score is the intersection over the union used in the object detection task in computer vision. And you practice with this one. Of course, you could find many simple examples on the internet in different programming languages for this small task. But firstly, practice by yourself. And that's all for programming language. In short, language difference, many language difference in vocabulary and syntax. And if you wanted to use some programming language for your study here, for your future career, you have to learn, and not only programming language. As I show you, not only programming language. You have, besides programming language, 1,000 of libraries are there. And in some tasks, some libraries are designed for different specific tasks. And if you wanted to use so some tasks, you have to learn. And me myself, 30 years of experience in programming, not C mainly, but I still fail to debug or to code some small programming, small tasks like this one. And it takes time, it takes effort to learn it again, how to connect or open a Google Booksy, using Google Colab. I have to, today, this night I have to to fix the bug because tomorrow I have lecture, the same lecture here. Tomorrow. And thank you very much for, that's all for today's lecture. And thank you so much for your attention.
Fix the bug.
Thank you bạn nhé.
Rất là khắc kỷ. Năm sau mình cũng phải suffer cái này vui vẻ.